This is John for the Everyday Fan Sports. Today I have the pleasure of being on the beat with Axel Rico. How are you, my friend?
I'm great. Happy whatever day whoever is watching this or hearing this, we're doing it on a completely different day, and I'm feeling fantastic and great. So that's what's going on with me. Thank you for having me.
Well, thanks for being here. Now, last time I saw you, you entered the building a little lighter than you left. You left with a little extra hardware, and we're going to get to that in a minute. But
Yes.
let's get to how did you get started in wrestling?
Well, I started in well, I was gonna start training in 2016 because I've always been a wrestling fan. But in 2016, I don't know if you remember, there was a very big hurricane that hit Puerto Rico. So that summer, I was very much helping my family, sending them money, just helping overall, just trying to be a good family member. And then in what seems like, ages ago in 2017, I started training with the BOZ, and then that took the career to multiple places, learning the best from people like Super Crazy, with Lucha Libre, learning from the best like Vic Capri, Doug Simmons, and just overall taking my training, and here I am now. So I'm never going to stop learning, and I never want to stop learning the trade. So it's been a couple of years now, but it feels like I'm still having fun. That's all that matters.
So, who are some of your guys? Like, who are the wrestlers that you look up to that you might emulate or at least appreciate their style?
Well, I think I've said this on a lot of accounts, but the first ever like VHS tape, if kids can even remember or know what that is, uh, Halloween Havoc VHS tape, where I watched Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio just
Oh,
do 10 to 12 minutes of just fantastic lucha libre and just overall just a spectacle. So those two were always big in my mind when I think of wrestling, when I think of lucha libre, especially I think of Rey Mysterio's mask when I think of like the most iconic mask. But as I became older, Eddie Guerrero was always an icon and a legend to me. I still consider him, he would be my Mount Rushmore of wrestlers. Um, and somebody else, I was just always a fan. I grew up during the Attitude Era, and I wouldn't be as big of a fan if it wasn't for Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio, and of course the Bald SOB, Stone Cold Steve Austin. So those are just three that I like a lot. Of course, I have I'm a fan of a lot of other people, even some indies people now. But I think those three are what made me become a true fan and enjoy the business.
well, all excellent choices, my friend. I can't disagree at all with any of those three. Those are
You
legends.
better not, or I'll find wherever you are.
Well, I'm not too hard to find because I'll be watching it the next time you're wrestling at Damage Pro, and we will get to that in a minute.
All
Um,
right.
Now, I know you're a singles wrestler. How much tag teaming have you done?
I've done loads of tag teams. I think I first started in a tag team at Galley Lucha Libre with my friend Saban Gage, who's he's a freelance guy. He did with CSW for a while. In Galley, we have a little stable called La Sociedad Boricua. That's with Chuco, Manny. We had Rico de la Vega. We had Ricky Cruz on there. So I've tagged a whole bunch, and I love me some tag team wrestling. But I think I just have more. I enjoy, I love tag team wrestling, but I think when you really want to show what you've got, you can do singles, and I like doing both. But I think singles wrestling has definitely it's shown to people who I can really be. May it be athleticism, may it be just overall, wanting the people, or just I've found more success in, and I've gotten a couple belts for tag team wrestling. Me and Chuko have won a tag team belt here, and of course at Galley Lucha Libre they were the tag team champs. But I've had three three now singles belts and then one tag team belt so far on the resume. So I love tag team wrestling, but I think I shine a little bit more in singles competitions.
So whether it's tag team or singles, how did it feel when you actually won your first belt?
When I won my first belt, well, my first belt, I'm gonna say is gonna be for Chicago style wrestling. Okay, because my first belt I ever won was in front of no one. There were maybe 10 people in the crowd.
Okay.
Match itself was kind of a cluster. There was things going on, and it didn't feel right. I was very much, that was the first time I ever carried some hardware, and it's to the point now where the promotion where I had it, they just didn't tell me I'm defending it. They just gave it away. So it was very much a bad first experience. But when I really won and I'm still defending the belt was at Chicago style wrestling, and it felt right. I felt the fans were with me, to the point where all the CSW roster came out to celebrate or just cheer me on. And it really felt like that big, when you win the Super Bowl and they put the Gatorade over your head type moment, which is also another feeling that I got when I won it against Thomas Latimer at Damage Pro Wrestling just this past weekend. So I was very happy that not not every single time you win a championship belt, it's in front of like 10 people and you accidentally step on horse doo-doo.
No, hey, I was in the crowd in Rockford. Amazing crowd too. I mean,
Yeah.
I've been there a few times, and that crowd is it's large and it's loud and it's into the action.
No, I since he opened up, since Damage opened up in last October, I didn't really know the area. I'm not from Rockford. I'm from Chicago. I did a couple shows in that area, and they were never really, packed. They were like pretty decent, like maybe 30, 40 people. And I'd never, like, obviously when you go into a promotion that's opening their doors, just even like a little less than a year ago in October, you think like, maybe what if there's only 10 people? You know what I mean?
Right, right.
The brain goes into so many things. And the fact that the first show had probably like what feels like the exact same number of people for every single show that they've had is just awesome, because anyone that walked out there, was making an introduction, and they were making an introduction to themselves, to us, so it's really like, since I've been one of the people that has consistently been there are people that know my name. There are people that have like different art that I've, shirts and stuff. One of the super fans has like every single picture she's ever taken of me, with me. So I love Damage. I love the Rockford crowd over there. So I'm happy to represent them as their champion.
Well, they just announced the next show. I think they just announced it. At least I just saw it, May
Mhm.
13th.
Yes.
Any idea who you're going to be facing? Who's going to go for that title?
I don't know. I did see that they just dropped one match, which is Mason Perks, who I've been dealing with a whole lot, against Raphael, one of my guys at Chicago Style Wrestling. So all I know is I'm not wrestling either of those guys. But with a roster that has been in those doors, like Juventud Guerrera, Rhino, that crazy Kyle with the forks and all, like the roster is crazy. So I don't really know who I'm going to be wrestling, but I am excited and know that no matter who I am, knowing that roster and knowing that area for wrestling, I know it will be a good fight. It'll be a lot of fun, but I really hope it isn't anybody super hardcore with forks and knives, spiky tables. But knowing that area, I have a 50-50 chance that it's someone that goes a little hardcore.
Well, the owner did come out with a statement that things are going to be a little bit more sedate than that,
Yeah.
than one of those bloody matches, but
Yeah.
that doesn't mean it's not going to be hard hitting.
It's not exactly. That's what the fact that the gentlemen that did wrestle that match were able to get through it and still put on what I'd say a very, very violent but action packed match is
Agreed.
still testament to the quality of wrestlers that we have at Damage Pro Wrestling. That's why I was like, can I please be later or after? Please be able to clear the mat once, I step in there. But other than, I think every wrestling fan and every wrestler has their type of style that they prefer. And of course, everybody, shows it how they will. But I don't know. You know what I mean? Either way, I think no matter who I'm wrestling, it'll be somebody that can fight.
Well, everybody's gunning for you and all eyes are on you. But you mentioned CSW, you mentioned freelance, you mentioned Galley, obviously Rockford. Is it hard to go from place to place? Because obviously there's, different styles, different audiences, different crowds.
Yeah.
Is that a huge challenge, or do you love that because then you get to experience everything?
Yeah, the way I put it, when somebody, because like I don't mind travel. I like to go to different types of shows. Like that's why I'm not just at CSW. That's why I'm not just at, I like to go to different places to practice my trade, of course, which is I see myself as the same type of person everywhere I go. It just so happens at Galley, they don't like me for being honest, if that makes sense. But at CSW, people have seen me since 2018, and they've seen me grow. And then now that I have the belt, you have like those hardcore fans that are like, he's deserved it so long. I've seen him grow. I've seen him kick ass. So, I'm still always the same wrestler wherever I go. The audience, the crowd, the people kind of decide, do I like this guy? Do I not like this guy? Because, it's a lot of fun. And the one thing that I do find a lot of fun, especially at Galley, is practicing my trade in Spanish. And it's working really well. Maybe not so much in the point of view of the audience. They really hate my guts.
That happens.
But, whatever. But I do enjoy practicing my trade because, maybe in Rockford, they love it when I dive and stuff on persons like Thomas Latterman. But Thomas Latterman isn't at, Freelance Underground or isn't at CSW. So when I do that dive, it's like, oh, how dare you do that to the guy that I was rooting for? You know what I mean? So
Sure.
it's just, it's fun to still bring what I bring to a wrestling show, but you know what I mean? Their roster. People have favorites. People, just straight up can look at somebody and just be like, I don't like this guy, so I'm just going to boo him, So that's why I love to go to different places just to keep practicing and do what I do, which I know I do best. But just wherever I need to go and that need me. Ooh, that was good. That was poetry right there.
That was good, man. I like that. Well, obviously you were very popular in Rockford. I saw the lines. We wanted to meet you after the matches, but your line was so long and it was so crowded in that area, we couldn't, but we're going to catch you one of these times. But I wanted to ask you, my friend who was with me saw you had a sign about animals.
Yeah.
Could you talk a little bit what's all that about?
Sure. Yeah. I recently, before I even started wrestling, I would volunteer my time for multiple animal shelters, dog rescue places, all no-kill shelters, places that help abandon or, people that surrender their animals, dogs, cats, whatever. I've been doing that since probably like 2008. I was in like high school, college, and in 2016, I started helping out this place called Chicago Canine Rescue, which is exactly that. They're a no-kill shelter that looks for people to foster, adopt, help spay and neuter animals. And it's just a place run by people. So like the business is, the person that is like the president is just, just some guy, they're all just people that volunteer their time to help out these animals. So since February, I've just been wanting to give more time, but with me being gone every single weekend for wrestling shows, it's been hard to volunteer. So I decided to kind of start a little partnership with the Chicago Canine Rescue to donate all of my shirt sales,
Wow.
8x10 sales, merch sales to them, because it's very hard to give time when, you know what I mean, I'm growing a business.
Sure.
I'm trying to market myself, but also I want to still give back to the places that I care about, the what the charities and stuff that need the help, and especially this group, because they really are just people that want these animals to have a good life, have a safe home. So I will be doing that until the merch is out, the boxes are empty.
Wow.
It's been awesome. We raised about $320 this weekend.
Nice.
And that's only the start. And a lot of it was, they bought my shirts, bought my 8x10s, but some people just scanned the little QR code that I had there that I'm going to be bringing to all of my shows. And it's like it sends a link to their website and how to help donate. And it's a wonderful, wonderful place. And I'm very happy to be partnering up with them. Yesterday, I was able to visit them with the heavyweight championship, and they allowed me a little photo shoot with a bulldog that almost kicked my ass. And then so it's really awesome to still give back to a cause that I care about a whole lot.
No, and we as fans, as pet lovers, I appreciate that greatly. That's like I said, my friend Tony saw it. And he said, make sure you ask him about that.
Yes,
I've done my duty on that, and I applaud you for that. Before I let you go, anything
okay.
you want to promote? Your social media, the canine thing
Oh,
again?
in Axel Rico, I found out that there's apparently a singer in South America called Axel Rico. So I'm on all social medias as Axel Rico. That isn't that guy. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, especially pushing on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for the Canine Rescue supportive stuff. But that's where I promote all my shows. Of course, if wherever and whoever is watching this at whatever specific time, if you know that there's a show nearby you, may it be in Rockford, may it be in Southern Illinois, or if you're watching this out of state or out of the country, visit and support local indie wrestling, because they are trying to work their trade, and half the time we got a lot of good talent working the indies and circuits and stuff like that right now. So go support indie wrestlers, support Axel Rico, support podcasts like this that give us a place to show us and, reach different people, and overall be good to each other, of course.
Well, I think indie wrestling's never been better, and obviously you're a big part of that, especially with the new title.
Yes.
I will be in Rockford May 13th for the next show. Until then, I'm sure I'll see you at some other places, because I'm all over the place, whatever I can get in my schedule. Axel Rico, appreciate your time, man. Again, congratulations on the title, and we will talk again.
All right. Have a great day, and have a good day whenever you're watching this, viewer or listener.
You too, buddy. Take care.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thanks, man.